also in Nairobi on the 5th of this month to discuss Zaire. Of last month, to discuss Zaire. It was that meeting which asked the international community to establish a neutral military force to go into eastern Zaire to help aid agencies, to help the refugees, to reach the Rwanda refugees wherever they are and help them, but also to establish safe corridors and what the communique called temporary safe havens for the purpose of receiving refugees and help them to go back to Rwanda. My leaders believed that the most important job for the international community, for the multinational force, would be to help the refugees of Rwanda to go back. Because as long as they are in Zaire, there is a potential security problem between the two countries. So it's better to end that problem by helping the refugees to go back. But we knew what was happening. With the genuine refugees, you had the Interahamwe, the militia that had participated in the genocide, and the former army of the Rwanda government. They did not want the refugees to go back. They wanted them in Zaire. They prevented them from going to Zaire. So my leaders said, fine, we do want the refugees to return voluntarily. We don't want refugees to be forced to go back to Rwanda. Some may not want to go back to Rwanda. So they should not be forced to go back. But they must not be forced not to go back. And we cannot know whether they are making a free decision either to go or not to go until we separate them from the intimidators. So the multinational force should help the return of the refugees by helping to separate the intimidators from the genuine refugees. We are still debating that, I think. We can discuss that a little bit later.
Shalom and shalom. Today we are here to have a conversation concerning the topic about the war taking place in East Africa or in East place of Congo, especially in North Kivu and South Kivu. And I decided to talk concerning this topic because it is required for different people. We meet in different places. They ask me what I know about this kind of thing which is taking over in Congo, which is taking in the life of many young people and all the people as well, which is killing many young men and young women. And whenever they ask me this question, I feel like I'm not responsible to say anything concerning it because I'm not a politician. In the same way, whenever they ask me this question also, I feel sorry for the young men and the young women who are involved in this war and end up losing their life in that place of East of Congo. But I want to just have this brief talk concerning this topic, and allow me to just highlight that this war is planned for many years, and this war, I would say maybe it started maybe in 1980. If I say that, maybe people they will not believe what I'm saying, but honestly speaking, I would say that this war it is a plan which started in 1980, and this war started for the purpose of tourism, which is not really for supporting African or Congolese. This war started because of situation where they are trying to take over the mineral like gold and diamond in places of Congo, more than to support either refugees, more than to support either the citizen of Congo. So why am I saying this? I want you to look at 1980. Is the time like in Africa, I think they did not have many wars, in my opinion. And it happened that there was bad atmosphere between Ugandan government and the Tanzanian government. And the former president of Tanzania, Nyerere, highlighted to use Museveni to start war in Uganda so he can be able to come and take over as a rebel. As a rebel. So in that situation, of course, Museveni went in Uganda and take the young man who was refugees, Rwandan refugees who was in the camp, and use them as a rebel. They fight until they take over the power of Uganda. As I keep saying, they end up killing many people. Citizens of Uganda were educated. The people who have more information about the country, who know the better thing or the better way life can be in Uganda. So in the way, the people who remain in power was the people who was rebellious only. After that, I would say that in that process for having power in Uganda, as Museveni and his team, which was the rebel from people from Rwanda, who was a refugee in Uganda in '59, they started something to come to start war in Rwanda, to come back as requesting to stay in the Rwanda. I know many people they are going to ask me, why am I not speak about the right of refugees? Who was refugees in those years? The people who was refugee in Uganda since 1959. So okay, I want to take that opportunity also to just highlight. I will not really go deeper concerning this is the longer story. Yeah, and each story can have a big page, which you can't give one person in a summary. You will need to sit and explain more. But briefly, the story of Rwandan who was refugees in Uganda in 1959. I want to say that in the culture of Rwanda before colonialism, the people who was in power was a Tutsi tribe. And they used to have a propaganda that actually someone to be a king in Rwanda needed to be born with seed in his hand. And the people of Tutsi believe the culture and lies that actually the children they be born with seeds. And so therefore they are qualified to be in leadership or in royal family. So after being in a kingdom, because the leadership of those years was not a democratic leadership, was a royal or king leadership. So it takes decades of years where the Tutsi has been in power as a king, in the name that they are born with seed in their hand. And let me highlight that the population of those years, 95 of citizens of Rwanda was 95 who were Hutu, and I think three and a half who was a Tutsi, and the one and the half was a Twa. So after the Tutsi being and lying this conversation that actually there was born of seed and remain in power, in their leadership, they read Rwandan citizen in a bad way, especially as small as the Tutsi are, as you can hear, 3 by 100, and the people who was like 95 who were Hutu. So it was said that actually all those Hutu, they was forced to go to farming for Tutsi for free, to go to look the cow and different stuff for free, and in return back, or in return, the Tutsi will took some Hutu people and give them assignment to beat the Hutu, to kill them, to assassinate them. Abduction was something speak loud in those years before colonialism. And this leadership has been there for decades of years. Now, when colonialism came, they started teaching the people about freedom and lifestyle, and teach like the way someone can have the right, the human rights, and all those things, you know. So now, the Hutu tribe and Twa tribe, they come to realize we have been living in a situation where we live like slaves. Yes, in our country, we need our rights. So then there was one big problem now. The big problem which was there first is that the people who was in power now was the people I want to say is now those people who was like Batusi tribe. They did not share the leadership for other tribes because they used to believe like it was a burning for seed to lead, so no one else should come in power. So in 1959 now they become a revolution, where the Hutu and Twade was like, no, we are not going to take this nonsense. We want to participate in leading our country. We want to be in the office of leadership, of the office which take decision. We want to be in the army. We want to do all things like as well. So, you know, it wasn't okay with the people who was in power now. Now I'm speaking about the Tutsi who knew Hutu and the Twa as a slave people. There was not okay to feel like we can sit together and share the leadership. But remember, there was just 3 by 100. 3 by 100. And the other tribe like Hutu was 95. Other like Twa was like 1.5. So you see, there was a long voice for the people who are Hutu than the people who are Tutsi. So what happened is that now, we have reached this point, white people start encourage the Tutsi to share leadership with Hutu and the Twa as well, and they let them to involve in activity for leading the country. So now what happened is that the Tutsi was not happy for that. In fact, the king of the Tutsi ran away in 1960, claiming that he's going in Congo for the celebration of independence of Congo, and actually he did not come back. So, you know, only because, you know, the leadership of those years was a Tutsi only who was involved in it. All other Tutsi who was felt like we can't share leadership with Hutu. Also, after hearing that the king has run away, also they ran away. They go, and many part of those people, they ran away to Uganda. And the other people who still resisting, saying we can't share the leadership, of course, as you hear, the Hutu was 95, they start killing each other. So it will not work. Now, the point I want to raise here now, when they reach here, they went in the camp, they stayed there, and then we are coming now where I'm sharing the story how now they started the point now of coming back in the country. So I have shared the how President Museveni come in the camp and pick some refugees and take them in, they start fighting until they are in power. Now, that is how the people who was in the camp those years of 1959, they end up rich in the camp. I know you get it this way. Now, second point, when they reached 80s, years of 80s, I say that is the time Museveni was doing those things. He used to be in power, and then he used the refugees who was run away in 1959. And then they take over the country. Some of them they become in the leader in the army. In fact, the current president of Rwanda was intelligence, the one who is the leader of intelligence, interior intelligence in the country. So you can hear they used to have a good praise or a good part of leadership. But remember, because other people has run away from Uganda, because those people they was coming killing, when the rebels they are coming in the country, is not something we were celebrating. So I'm saying this war, which is taking over in East Africa, it does not started right now. It is something started in 1980, and that is what I'm trying to explain to you. So now, after long to be in power, like 3 or 4 years in power, to start another project now to come of refugees and let them come in power in Rwanda. And Rwanda was a country which have a leadership, which have a citizen, which is moving on with all tribes as well, and some in the business, some in the political. So there was such a kind of good lifestyle if I compare with the story of those people who was in the pre-colonial, in the leadership in the royal family. So these people, when they claimed that they want now to, they did not claim, actually they took gun. And it was easy because Museveni was the one who was sponsoring everything, take gun from the country and give them, there was fighting, killing citizens, especially in the tribe of Hutu. So much start running away from where they stay. So they reached the point now they call president to come and on the table so that he can sit and talk. So president allowed them, and they required that actually they can come and have some place in the government, and the other they can come and live like how other citizenship live. But the intention of this war, now that is what I want to say now and highlight why. Remember, I said that the intention of this war was not to take the refugees, Rwandan refugees, to come back in Rwanda. The intention of this war was to come to steal mineral and gold of Congo. When we reach in those years 1980, I heard that England and America, they wanted to come in Congo to steal gold and diamond, but using this kind of people, we can call them like mercenary. Mercenary is this kind of guys who done school in army, want to just come fighting against the country so they can do this and this without the choice. Actually, they want to use this kind of stealing. But when they reach in Rwanda in those years of 1980, they found out that actually the president who was there was Habyarimana. So this guy refused them to go in Congo because, he was a leader. He have a power. Intelligence get this news before them they hear. So it could not work for them to go inside the country and do all those kind of nonsense. When they reach there, they become a problem. The problem which came first is this. Like, they want to go to use the border of Congo, of Rwanda, going to steal in Congo. They wanted a way, someone to cover them, so they can go and steal and come back and go. So Habyarimana was not ready for this. And in fact, he informed President Mobutu, and that caused a big trouble between Habyarimana and Mobutu in those years. In fact, he was requesting him that he can give him those mercenary people so he can give them some punishment. But Habyarimana, because of fear for the voice of a big nation, he released them to go back in the country they fly and go back in the where they came from. So when they fly now, they came and start the propaganda in Uganda that there is refugees who are Rwandan who have to come back in Rwanda. Because Habyarimana can't give them a way to go in Congo to steal gold. So now they are fighting while they are making the noise that there is refugees who want to come back in Rwanda. So as I said, Habyarimana wanted a negotiation with them. In fact, he built a house for those people who are coming from outside as refugees where they can come. And believe me, he given even military, he allowed people to come in his country with guns to come to stay in the country because he believed that there was a Rwanda. But interestingly, it was said, I heard that actually the people who should, after the agreement of those things, now in 1994, uh, the people who were supposed to come to share power, they shoot the airplane. After shooting the airplane, they come all kind of war. That is where the people like Kode in Heramo, they started killing some people from the tribe of Tutsi because they knew the people who shoot the airplane, which was carrying the president, was from the Tutsi tribe. And for me, I would say yes, it is those people who shoot the airplane, because Kayumba Nyamwasa was the general in Dama of Kagame said we are the people who shooted the airplane. So even you can go on those kind of how this goes, like it's called there is a movie which was played on the BBC when Kayumba said that kind shared his truth about the shoot of airplane in the country where there was having bad atmosphere. Now the people who was now rebel, they are in the country, they start stealing and all those things. So people start running away. So I'm saying now, the people, reason why I'm saying that the motive for moving people, for coming in moving refugees in Uganda was not the problem to resolve the problem of refugee of Rwanda. It's because when these people was 30,000 or 40,000, if I increase, when they come in the country, all the million which was in the country, they ran away. Some ran away in Congo, some ran away in Burundi, some fly to big nation, and some was being killed, So it was a country, miserable country, everyone would not like to wish to stay in. Now I'm here showing you reason why what is happening in Congo right now is not something started just now. It is something started many years, in 1980. So when they reached there, but let me come back in Uganda. There is a guy called the Chizehe Vladimos from the tribe of Banyamurenge. This guy believed that Banyamurenge can be in power also in Congo. So this guy, when he heard that Rwandan refugees they are fighting coming back in the country, he went there. He was the guy who was like a super cool guy. He was a superstar. He was a player of football. He could speak Lingala and French at the same time. He came to support the refugees of Rwanda. And then, of course, because as a star, he was have a big influence in youth in those years. He called many young men to come to support. As from Banyamurenge, they came to support the refugees of Rwanda take over the country. And it was said that once he shared the idea that actually he came to fight there for him to be in power, this idea, they like it so much because even for fighting to come in power in Rwanda, the people who sponsors you with guns and this material thing, they don't have something to pay because Rwanda is not the country which have a gun mineral or anything to pay the people who has been helping you to fight. So they like the idea. They started against him. Even he reached the point where he ran away from that camp and go in America. I think that is where he passed away just 2 years or 3 years from now. So this story I'm sharing. So this guy, when I hear about the video he was doing in Kinyarwanda, I was saying like after selling them my vision, they steal it and resist me and fight against him. So and it was shown that once now they reach in Rwanda after captured Rwanda, they went and used the Zere Kabila to come to fight against Congo. They claiming that actually some Rwandan who committed the genocide has run away from Rwanda to Congo. And also they claim that Mobutu Sese Seko is dictator and he has not given the people the right. So they fight as a rebel behind now using. Actually, what they are doing right now is the same way they did in the past. You see, they took like Desire Kabila and give him Rwandan army and Ugandan army. They come fighting in Congo. They fight until president can run away. Just imagine when Mobutu Sese Seko, you hear his story, you know his behavior. For him to run away, it's because those people, whenever there was a passing, they was killing people, they was stealing the material thing, so nothing was resting. So when Mobutu they reach in the capital, they done the same. So after now, see that they don't have participation. When they reach there, the Kabila, these people, they are only stealing and killing people. They are not a benefit to the country. He started resisting them. The solution is that now they searched the way to assassinate him, which they did, and be successful. And the question now, which was happening as we speak, is that now, because they could not speak Lingala and French in Kinshasa, so when the Kabila resist them, they start to come back in East African, and now that is what they have been doing. So right now, where we are right now, you are telling me that the actual rebellions can be able to come and agree with president who is voted by the people to resolve the problem. I want to say that any refugee want to return back in Congo, they can go. They don't need a gun or this kind of thing unless these people want to use them to still go there and down. So I want to say the system which they use is the same system. They want to come to still go, but maybe now they have a big strategy to make sure that they have a control for everything because for the first time they failed. So, and you can't stand and appreciate whatever is taking over in that country right now as we speak. I believe that there is other way out. We can resolve this problem. But for now, I would say the only motive behind this war is stealing gold and diamond. So, if you are a young man from any tribe who can hear this, I want to tell you, please avoid to involve in this war because you are going to die for no need. You need to protect yourself. So, guys, I love you and I want you to give me comment, like, share, and subscribe, and give me your opinion. Give me your opinion. Otherwise, we are praying for peace and prosperity in Congo.